Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. My name's Lorraine Tierney, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I live in a little town of Warner, New Hampshire. It is, I had to think about this, Thursday afternoon. I don't usually go live on Thursday afternoon, usually Thursday evening, but I have some company and we're going to go out to dinner. So I thought I would jump on now. So we're going to make a card. Sometimes when I don't know what to do on a live to share with you, or I don't know what to make for a certain occasion, I look in the catalog and I case cards from the catalog. Or there's a great page on Facebook called Casing Tuesday. And I went to that page today to see if I liked that layout. And the people that run that page take that layout from the catalog and then they give you the dimensions and everything of what to make um, encasing the catalog. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I think it's a layout that you'll like and you might want to do yourself. So let me switch my camera over and we'll get started. If you do happen to see this live, I didn't give any warning, so I'm not expecting many people to be here. Please do say hello. And if you're watching the replay, I would love it if you would say hello and if you would leave me a comment. So I'm going to use Petunia Pop, which I think is just such a great spring color. This piece is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25, and it needs a good burnishing. Then I have a piece of Petunia Pop paper. No, this is not Petunia Pop paper. This is meant to be DSP, and I'm getting distracted because I couldn't remember what I cut it. I cut it to 5.25 by 4, and that's going to go on here. I think I'll just put that on and get it out of the way. Okay. And then I have a piece of, this is Petunia Pop, and it's just slightly smaller. It is 5.125 by 3 7/8. And I'm going to use one of the meant to be hexagon dies. This is the second smallest, and it's about 3.5 inches from the widest point to the widest point. And on Casing Tuesday, they had this centered on the card. Well, I'm going to put it a little bit to the left, I think. So I'm trying to get it even top and bottom and just a little bit over here on the left. And I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine, which is not on the table because it just shakes that table too much. So I will just do this quickly and then I'll be right back on the camera. Whoops, I want to show you the two lovely pieces that it cut. Okay, so it cut that hole that I want for the front of the card like that. But it also cuts a smaller hexagon and a little frame. So it's fun to mix and match those from different cuts and use them differently. Okay, so now I need a focal point, and we're going to use this large floral image from the Mixed Florals stamp set. This one is an online exclusive, and I love this stamp set. I use this so much for so many things. And I just did that in black. Well, I'm going to leave it in black, but I was wondering, my first thought is to color it. Then I was thinking, I wonder if I stamp it in Petunia Pop, if I could leave it uncolored. So I have another piece right here. Let me clean it and let's stamp it in Petunia Pop and see what we like better. Or if we like the petunia pop, then we don't have to color it in. It's not a difficult stamp to color in. I don't find that it needs a ton of shading, but just in case. It's a beautiful afternoon here in New Hampshire. I hope you're outside enjoying the weather and catching this later on replay. There it is, just like that. So let's do just a little bit of coloring on this. I'm going to start with the dark petunia pop. Often I start with the light, but I'm feeling like I'm living dangerously today. So just where there would be some darkness or deepening of color, I'm going to do some of the darker petunia pop, and then I'm going to do the rest of this with the light, and I go right over the dark and blend it in. And I'm not going to worry about going right up to the top. Sometimes flowers fade out a little bit at the very top. Okay. And now I'll do a little bit of old olive on these. Oh, that tip is kind of mushy. I need to get a new one when the tip goes mushy on me. I don't like that. I feel like I can't control it very well. So I'm going to do these wider leaves in the old olive. Whoops, that wasn't good. I'm going to get to show you the color lifter because although that might not show the way I'm planning to use this, so that would be good. I wouldn't have to worry about that. That's what happens when I try to color quickly. Okay. Just a little bit more here. I'm going to do those stems in the other color. I think I said this is the light. The light for the leaves. Another leaf back here. And then color these. I'm sorry, I have a hard time keeping up a conversation and coloring at the same time. That's a little bit tricky. Okay, so now just quickly do these tulip stems in the dark so that they do stand out just a little bit. And I think a little bit of yellow on these flowers. And I can call this good. Okay, there we go. So now there's a die that cuts around this bunch of flowers just like this. So let's run this through the cut and emboss machine. I did not show you that color lifter yet. I will do that in just a second because it does not cut that off. And of course, whenever I'm on a live, it's so much harder to get the die lined up because I'm trying to go quickly. And nothing goes quickly when you're on a live. All right, so here, the color lifter is white, white caps, and I think you purchased this individually. And you can see right here, I've gone out of the line. Well, I'm going to kind of color to the outside of that and then on it, and I'm going to let that dry, and we'll check back on that in a second. And meanwhile, I'm going to cut out this one that I have not colored in at all. And I'm thinking this might be too much petunia pop as I look at it over there. I don't know. I was not going for a monochromatic look. So of course, then I say, oh, maybe I should do it in green and just old olive. But we'll never get anywhere if I keep stamping. So we'll go with these two options and see what I like. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is this will have to be trimmed, but it's going to go under here like that. And then we're going to put a sentiment on like that somehow. So that's a lot of petunia pop and not a lot of contrast. I'm thinking I'm going to like this one better. What do you think? I think I like that. Of course, we'll cut off the bottom. I could go up just a little higher. I don't like losing that tulip on the left. There we go. And then put the sentiment right there. I see another little spot right here. I'm going to try to lift a little ink from, and I'm going to try to fill in that right there. There we go. Okay, so we need to cut off a little bit. I'm going to grab a pencil and I'm going to cut just above that line. I'm going to cut that line off with my trimmer. If I can unbury it over here, I have piled everything on top of it. Okay, so let's just give that a trim. It didn't like cutting. Where are my scissors? Where are my scissors? Here they are. It didn't like cutting this little thing. It kind of mashed that, but I don't think that will be seen. Okay, so I'm going to put a bunch of dimensionals or dimensional edges, as it may be, along this. We're going to pop this up. I'm going to try to remember not to take the backings off just yet. That might be just a little bit too close to the edge, so that I can see. Whoops, I thought I had cut that. So I can see where this is going to fit. And that is too big. Let's just cut that again. Put a little bit there, a little bit there. No saggy frames. So I like to use a lot of support. Okay. So now this, we have to figure out exactly where we want that. think I want it over just a little bit more. I wonder if I could get away with doing it like that. So it's a little bit above the frame and a little bit tucked into the frame. Can you see that? I need to plug in my computer. Okay. Yeah, I think we will do that. All right, so that means the top part of this up here is going to get some dimensionals so it can stick up and over. And the bottom part will get some glue. But before I put that in, I think I should put this piece on. So let's take a pick. All right. I'd love to know where you're watching from today and if it's a gorgeous day where you are. It's been so nice here. I've even been motivated to get outside and do a little yard work. So if I have dirty fingernails, you'll know why. I've been cleaning out some different plant beds. Okay, so that's going to go there. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the bottom of this. And we're going to see if I can go both under and over. Look at that. So that is how it goes like that. I like that. And now we need a little sentiment on the front, and I didn't grab a sentiment for the front. The other stamp set that goes with the mixed florals is the mixed labels. And I think I'll put for a great friend on that. Because we all have some great friends, don't we? We do. And what color? Let's do it in Old Olive. Let me grab that. There we go. And I'll just trim that a little bit. And I'm going to need to cut another piece for the inside of the card because I used my pink, my other white piece for that thing. Although I have a card here I haven't put together yet. Look at that. I can rob a piece from that card. Okay, so we're going to put for a great friend right there. And of course, we need some bling. So let's see what I can find over here. Here's my bling hold. What colors do I want? I don't think I have much in the petunia pop. These are Old Olive. And then these, what are these? Purple backed adhesive sequins. Oh, these are going to do the trick. These were the Celebration freebie, I think. So I'm going to put a couple of those on. They're nice and sparkly, and they're kind of flat, so they don't add a lot of bulk. And one more over there. Those are cute, sparkly, cute. All right. And now let's do a little something for the inside of the card. Yep, that will fit right there. Uh, I don't think I want that on the inside. I was thinking to go along with the "You Are a Great Friend" is the stamp set "Friends Are Flowers in the Garden of Life." Isn't that pretty? But I can never tell which one this is upside down. Okay. This is it. So this is from the "You Are Remarkable" stamp set, and that's the stamp set that the May card class will be. It'll be a stamp a stack. So for $35, you'll do 8 cards, and $5 additional if there's shipping, or you can get it free with an order. And of course, I can't remember all the details right now, but shoot me an email or a message if you're interested in that, and I will get you the information. So I put that a little bit on the left-hand side. I thought I would do something a little bit different. So here is the card. Isn't that pretty? Friends are flowers in the garden of life. That's from the "You Are Remarkable" stamp set. And then our other things are from the Mixed Florals and Mixed Labels. And this is the Casing Tuesday layout. So thank you so much for watching this. Please leave me a comment. Let me know you're watching it. I know I jumped on at a really odd time today, but I wanted to get this going before I went out to dinner and had some fun. So have a great rest of your Thursday. Take care, everybody. Make some cards and send some cards. Use your superpowers to make other people happy. All right. Bye-bye.